Archbishop Rummel Athletic Hall of Famer Jay Roth. It has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
It does. First time I've heard that. First time somebody's used that behind my name. It sounds good.
Long overdue, but justly due, obviously. And so many places we could talk about and go with this, but as a player, it was a blessing to start this career, to call games that you played in, and I enjoyed that immensely. And as years go on, you think about those things. Beating St. Augustine when they were a state championship team, taking your team on an 80-yard drive to win the game. That's got to be one of the memories you have most as a player.
It is, knowing that St. Aug went 14-1, sophomore and junior season, only losses to Rummel. And there's something about prep football in the city, you know, Kenny. It's the front page of the prep sports. It's TV, it's radio. It's right up there with college and professionals here in the city. So it gives you some self-esteem. It was really good for us back then.
1980 season, go undefeated. You know, the Chalmette win was a great win. The Brother Martin win was a crazy win.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have some fortune. I always say you've got to be good and you got to be lucky. Both of those things happened that year.
It did. We were a team of 8 to 10 seniors. That's it. And we had a big junior class, and we beat Brother Martin on a Hail Mary last play of the game. They had people jumping out the stands.
Artie Delano.
We scored on a fourth down, going overtime versus Chalmette, kick and win the field goal to finish 10-0 for the first time in school history. So the playing memories are pretty good.
Then, of course, you got a chance to come back to your alma mater. What was that like when Phil Greco called you and said, it's your job?
Well, as I'll hit on tonight, Greco called me after someone turned it down. So I was a second choice, but I told Phil, thank you for making me the second choice. I'm glad you didn't forget about me. It was great to come back to Rummel. It had been 14 years since I graduated, and I had coached against it for 6 years at other schools, so it was nice to be named head coach at 32.
To be able to win right away, that was pretty special because things had not been that good in football for a while since your dad left.
Kenny, you're stealing my talk tonight, man. Yes, I mean, it was right away. We opened up, you know, and we were picked 62nd out of 64 teams by some prognosticator, and we upset Destrehan week 1. You know, we get our second, we beat number 1 St. Aug again. Yeah. And things, we beat Brother Martin for the first time in 13 years, and we win a playoff game. So we came out the gate fast, and I think we needed that to, this is what's been the last 25 years. That team in 95 set the tone for everything.
So many games, you know, you finally got over the hump against Archbishop Shaw, that was a big moment. Obviously, Dunbar had a great game. But then coming so close and can't quite get it done, semifinals, finally get there in 09, and then, of course, in 2012. An undefeated football team, and as you like to say, the last real championship in Louisiana.
Right. Well, before that, we had some great teams, I'm going to tell you, but we got beat by the Chiron Carey teams at Shaw. We got beat by the Evangel teams 3 years in a row in the semifinals. So we had some good teams that just can't get over the hump in the semifinals. 2009 got us here and gave us a taste of what it's really going to take. You know, we had to get better if we wanted to be champions, and we did. And the bar win was just the icing in 2012, and we are still the defending 5A state champs till we all come back together.
That feeling at the end of that game, I got emotional. That feeling for you.
Well, I remember I acted like a fool. I ran all over the field, dove on people, but I guess being the first time around, that was to be expected. I behaved much better in 2013.
Yeah, when you won it again the second time, and you know, if there's a disappointment at all, it's probably 2015 because you had a great team and you were that close to closing the deal.
But 2015 still hurts, and you know, I talk to all the seniors when I see them from that year, and they all know that should have been us. You know, it should have been us, and I take full blame for it. I don't know if I didn't prepare them right, or we were confident because we had beat them pretty handily in a scrimmage. But that was a disappointing night, and as bad as we played, we were a field goal away or a fumble away from winning. I mean, we were right on their heels. We scored, 29, 28 points, and we just didn't get it done in the last couple seconds.
Finally, unlike a lot of people honored, you're still working at this school, unlike people that we're bringing back to be honored. So this school's been everything to you, and you've been everything to this school, haven't you?
Well, I mean, I'm going to allude to it tonight. 8 years old, I started hanging out here with my father when he was coaching, on the sidelines, on the bus, on the floor of the dome for games, in the locker rooms, and then that's how I raised my son. On the bus with me, on the dome floor, on the locker rooms, on the buses. So Rummel's meant a lot to me as a student. I'm so grateful what the Christian brothers have done for me and the education at Rummel, and it's been my life.
Your dad was here with you, Don Perrette, Raider Pride starter. That's a real thing, isn't it?
It is. It is. Coach Perrette being at the game in 2012 when he addressed the team at the end of the game from the stands, I know he was very happy to see Rummel finally get a state championship. Coach Pontiff being my mentor, Rick Daly being such a great coach that he was. We've had, spending my summers with Coach Ryan in the weight room. So The memories are great, man, and you're going to get me tearing up here before we even get started.
Thank God Almighty.
Thank God Almighty, I'm a Raider.
Thank you, Jay.
All right, Kenny. Thank y'all.